Good morning, guys. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking all about how to have a healthy and mindful life consistently, like the habits and tips that are helping me out. I am not perfect. There's a lot of habits that I'm in the process of building. I am, however, very committed to a few things in my life that are like pillars for me to feel my best. I think of them as like non-negotiable, like habits, routines. And these are the things that whenever I don't do them consistently, I really notice a difference in a negative way. So I thought today I'd share those with you. Also the ones that I'm in the process of building. The one we're starting with is, I heard someone call it the hour of power, and I really like that. It's basically the hour of your day that's the most important. So that's the first 30 minutes of your day and the last 30 minutes of your day. That is when you should be spending your time in a very like intentional, mindful way, in a way that makes you feel good, content, and like peaceful, relaxed. And a lot of us, you know, in the mornings, we're like rushing, we're already stressed, or we go straight on our phone, on social media, or we're scrolling or watching whatever until we basically fall asleep. And when you start to change that, the difference is like outwardly, honestly. Like that sounds so dramatic, but it's like night and day. I noticed the biggest difference with like, I don't feel as anxious and as stressed. I'm not rushing as much throughout the day. I sleep better. And I just feel like my day is more intentional and more mindful because the first 30 minutes were that way and the last 30 minutes. So it kind of sets the right tone for my day. So a few things I like to do in the first 30 minutes of the day are to make my bed, open the windows, open the blinds, and then I like to make my tea. I like to sit down, journal. I just kind of check in with how I'm feeling. I write about that, and then I write a little gratitude list, just 3 things I'm grateful for, and I go into a bit of detail as to why I'm grateful for them. And then if I have some more time left, I do some stretching or I do a little guided meditation. My rules are basically I'm spending time offline, especially off social media, and I am doing everything very slowly and intentionally. Like for example, you can make your bed, open the windows, the blinds, make your coffee, and you can do that in a very like stressful, like rushing type way, or you can do it very like slowly, intentionally. And I personally prefer to wake up a bit earlier so I have time to take it easy than to rush and like stress myself out. That is just something to think about and try out if you haven't yet. But calling it like the hour of power just really like makes me feel really good and motivates me like to, you know, do it even more. So that's my first non-negotiable habit. Alrighty guys, I am just getting ready to go on my daily walk, which is my next non-negotiable. It's a mindful, intentional walk. We'll get into that, but I have the coolest new little camera gadget that I wanted to show you because I feel like it's so cool and I feel like it'll be such a good addition to my vlogs. Is this gonna be loud? Probably. Yeah, I'm not using it right now because I wanted to obviously show it to you properly. So this is the camera. It's the Insta360 Go 3S. And I feel like this is the perfect camera to like capture everyday moments. So I'm gonna take it with me on my walk. I don't even know where to start. Like you have a flip screen so you can like vlog very easily. But the coolest part to me is that the actual camera, like you can take it out and it's this tiny little thing. This is a lipstick. Like it's tiny. I feel like this is like the go-to camera to like capture moments without leaving the moment because it's so easy, it's tiny, you can like hide it very easily. Like I get embarrassed when I vlog or like record, capture my life. And with this, like no one can see. I can hold it like this, you have no idea what I'm doing. So it comes with 3 little attachments, gadgets, if you will. This is the first one. So this is like a magnet basically. You can put it around your neck. You can like tighten it so it sits higher. You literally can record, you know, if you're running or going on a hike or whatever. This one you can literally mount anywhere. So the camera goes in here. And then this is kind of like a clip, so you just clip it on. My friend Anya and I played badminton the other day and I hooked this onto the net. You can just get really cool shots. Last but not least, there's this one. So again, you put the camera on and this part is sticky. So you can literally pop this onto any wall or surface and you don't need a tripod. Like, it's so cool. I feel like I'm gonna take this everywhere with me when I travel. I really want to get into filming reels, which I've been saying for so long, and like capture my active lifestyle, and I feel like this will come in handy so much. This is definitely beginner friendly, like the settings are super straightforward and easy, but you can film in 4K, which is really cool. This video is obviously sponsored by Insta360, but I'm so excited to like add this to my gadget. I actually forgot to mention the best part, which is that you can get 15% off plus a free gift. It's valid until March 31st. And I'll have everything in the description box. Alrighty, gals and boys, let's go on my hike. Out on my hike, trying not to be embarrassed, but I have a tiny camera, so it's fine. Can hide it really quickly. But one of my non-negotiables is to go on a daily walk just to get some fresh air, some sunshine hopefully. And my number one tip is to be very mindful while you're on the walk. I don't really like to have headphones in, listen to a podcast or music. I like to just kind of focus on the moment and just focus on my breath, focus on what I'm seeing. If I go on a walk in a city, I like to pick a color. So let's say yellow, and then I point out just in my mind everything that I see that's yellow. Or it's like a manifestation walk. So I go and I really like immersely think about the life that I want and imagine it as if it's happening now. So just whatever to be here present. It's so nice. We're feeling good, but I'm starving, so I'm gonna make my tofu scramble. You guys have been asking for this recipe for so long on Instagram, and I feel like I've shared it before, but maybe I haven't. But my next non-negotiable habit is to eat a high-protein breakfast. It has honestly changed my life. Once again, everything's life-changing, but it is. I honestly can't like begin to explain how much better I feel throughout the day. It's wild. I literally take a fork and I just like smush it down. But yeah, I've especially noticed a difference since I started becoming a lot more active. If I eat a high protein breakfast, I feel fed for so much longer. I'm not snacking as much throughout the day. I don't have many cravings at all. But the biggest difference is in my energy levels. Like, it's absolutely insane. So my tofu is all mushed up. I'm gonna chop up some cherry tomatoes. I usually do spring onions, but I literally have this much left. So we're gonna do leek instead. You can do any veggies you like. Sometimes I put in zucchini, just depends on my mood, but I like to keep it very, very simple. So today we're doing these two, and I'll add some avocado later as well. Alrighty, let's chop this up. Heat up the pan. I'm gonna add olive oil. I like to do quite a lot. And then I'm gonna add in my tofu and leek. I'm gonna add cherry tomatoes later just because I don't like them to be too like mushy. And then we're gonna do salt, garlic powder, and this like Provence mix. I'm gonna put 2 pieces of toast in the toaster and then cherry tomatoes. You can obviously tweak this to suit you, but I like to add some, what's this called, nutritional yeast. Some cashews. When it's almost done, I add more olive oil. I just really like the taste and I like it to be more moist. This is probably my favorite option when it comes to high protein breakfast meals. It's also great if you're vegan or vegetarian, or if you need like an alternative to eggs. And with like the prep and everything, it takes like up to 10 minutes. It really doesn't take long at all. I feel like I have a cooking show. Okay, toast is done. This is a lot, honestly. Like, it's very, very filling, so I might not be able to eat all of this. I mean, does it look appealing? Probably not. The black sesame seeds make it look gray, but it tastes really good. Yum. Happy as long as I've been fed. The next non-negotiable habit is very basic, but the tips for how I got into it are not, okay? Because I struggled for so long. So my non-negotiable habit is to work out, move my body consistently. We've all heard it a billion times. You might be rolling your eyes once again. Like, that used to be me. I could not do it. Like, I tried and tried and tried, and it was such a struggle. I used to be in competitive sports growing up. I loved being active. It was really fun for me. And then once I stopped, I just could not stick to anything. And the first problem, and something I didn't realize until literally maybe 3 years ago, was that it is not a one size fits all. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You don't have to do the things that the fit people that you see around you are doing. There are so many different ways to move your body and be active, literally countless. Like, I will try to make a list. There is a gajillion options out there for you. And the only thing I saw was the gym, like traditional kind of workouts at home, like Pilates workouts on YouTube, stuff like that, or running. That to me were the only ways you can be fit and active. And that was a problem because I didn't like any of them. I like running now. At the time, I didn't. I was trying so hard to do workouts at home. I hated every second. I tried a few different gyms. I even got like 2 different personal trainers. Like, I really tried, okay? This was like a struggle. And everyone was saying like, oh, once you like start going to the gym, like it's hard, but then you're gonna get into it and you're gonna become obsessed and then you won't be able to stop. You'll be a gym girly. Everything will be well in this world. Never happened for me. Never, ever, ever. Every single day I had a scheduled session with my personal trainer. I did not want to go at all. Like, of course I felt better afterwards because, you know, it feels good to move your body, but it was not enjoyable for me. And it all changed once I got to Denmark and I was trying to find hobbies and things to do because I didn't know anyone. So I was trying a lot of different classes and I found Reformer Pilates. And I went to a class. I loved the place. I loved the studio. I loved the instructor and I loved the workout just because it was different from anything I tried. And I loved that it was like slower. There was some like choreography. Like, there was just a lot of pieces that were different that it like made sense for why I would like it. And that is when I became active. Okay. So I started going because I genuinely enjoyed it. Once a week, I committed to I think it was like a Saturday class. Great tip is to pay in advance and to like schedule sessions in advance for like the whole month. So then you are committed to going. And I would not allow myself to cancel. It was not an option. I knew I enjoyed the class. I knew I felt really good after. So I wanted to commit to it. It was not this like struggle and hatred like going to the gym was. Of course, I didn't want to go all the time because I was lazy. This was not a habit yet. It's hard to, you know, stick to something. It's hard to build a habit, but I didn't have like the dislike and the like hatred for Reformer Pilates as I did with the gym. Once the Saturday class became like an ingrained part of my schedule, I added another class, so I went twice a week. Then I got myself into running. Then my sisters got me to try climbing and I really loved it. And then I started going to badminton every Sunday and I do a hike here and there. Like, there's so many active things that I now love to do. And I notice such a big difference if I don't move my body just like once in a day. And that was not me like a few years ago at all. So here are the tips, okay? First things first, if you can, I know it's not for everyone, it can cost a lot of money. Try different classes and find one that you love. And again, book it in advance, pay in advance, and commit to going once a week. When that becomes totally normal and like something you just do, add another session. Another thing that really helps me is to go in the morning. Again, this is not for everyone. I'm a morning person. I love to do a lot in the mornings. Morning time for me is my most productive time. But the reason why I love working out in the mornings and like committing to classes in the mornings is because my brain is like on autopilot. Like I don't have the energy to think and like debate myself if I should go or I shouldn't go. Because if I start doing that and really engage in those thoughts, I'm probably not gonna go. I'm probably gonna talk myself out of it. So in the mornings, I just don't have the energy. So I just literally get in my car and go to the class. Again, it's not for everyone, but maybe try that out. And the last tip, this is also very important if you're not into like workout classes at all, which is understandable, is to realize that there's 10 billion ways that you can move your body that can be really, really fun. It doesn't have to be boring and annoying and like something you hate, okay? It's gonna be really, really hard to get into it if that's how you feel about it. So just to give you a few ideas, you can do roller skating, you can do hula hooping, jump roping, you could try ice skating and start learning like the different turns and stuff. You can sign up to cowboy dances, you can try things like badminton, paddle, you can go swimming. Like there are so many things. I could sit here probably for an hour naming all of them. Like I really do believe that there's something out there for absolutely everyone. So just think outside the box a little bit. And just because you're not lifting weights or doing like push-ups or crunches or whatever, doesn't mean that it's not good enough. Like you really should start with something that you enjoy, where you're just moving your body. And that should be your only goal. It's gonna be so much easier to add more things later on when you get in the groove of it. But I really feel like you should start with something that you genuinely enjoy. So that is my little spiel. Very long, but changed my life genuinely. And it was just like switching my brain to see a different perspective and to like not force myself to do something I don't want to do. Pledge to never ever do a HIIT workout ever again. Okay? I'm never doing jumping jacks again in my life. And I don't have to. And I can still be very active and like feel really good in my body and feel strong and fit and whatever. So figure out what you like, try different things. It becomes fun and you end up with like active hobbies that just brighten your day, make your day, your week a lot more interesting, a lot more fun. You can do it with friends. It has genuinely improved almost every aspect of my life. And I also feel more myself. So that's great. Balcony season has officially opened and I'm so happy. Alrighty, this next one really impacts my energy levels throughout the day, how I feel in my body. I've really noticed it really impacts the way I eat throughout the day as well. There's like so many benefits and it's so simple and you're probably gonna roll your eyes, but usually a lot of the things that are really good for our health are pretty simple. It's to drink enough water. Like, really not rocket science. The few things that really helped me to drink enough water, because I used to be so bad at this, I just felt like I was never thirsty. And the biggest change that really helped me is to drink a lot in the morning. So I carry this water bottle everywhere. It's a glass one. I fill it up in the evening. I put it on my bedside table and it's the first thing I do when I wake up is drink about this much usually, but that makes me thirsty throughout the day. If I don't do that, I do not feel thirsty. I might have like a glass or two, but that's about it. I don't know if there's any science behind that. I don't know, but try it out. A few other things that are helpful. I drink a lot of tea throughout the day. I like mint tea, chamomile tea, mango tea is really good. So that helps me get enough liquids as well. And then if you really like can't stand the taste of water, I really love adding mint into mine. You could also add lemon, cucumber. It just makes the taste really fresh and makes it, I guess, a bit more interesting. All of these tips are very basic because there's not really much more to say about drinking water. It's really become a non-negotiable. And again, I feel so much worse if I'm not drinking enough. It is a massive difference and you really start to notice it when you actually start drinking enough. Next habit and also tip is my little chia pudding. The way I make this is water, milk. I usually do half. And I recently started adding, like I have this little coconut yogurt. It's just a small one, and I do half of the coconut yogurt and I put it in. And then obviously chia seeds, I add honey and cinnamon. And then if I have fruit, I love blueberries or mango. Those are my favorites to put in, but I don't have any fruit right now. So we'll eat it plain, which is not so fun, but it is what it is. Having like a little snack you make in the morning, or like just having an option that's actually healthy and good for you and also filling is amazing. While I'm making my chia pudding, I also take my supplements, and this is where my tip comes in, which is to stack your healthy habit. Let's say for me, I already have a habit of making chia pudding every single morning. So while I'm making that, I just take my supplements, and it's so much easier to add a habit. Let's say you listen to a podcast every single day. So while you're listening to a podcast, you can add like a 15-minute cleanup habit where you clean up your home for 15 minutes while you listen to a podcast, or you go for a walk while you listen to a podcast. It just makes it a lot easier. So I like to add new habits to already existing ones, or preferably an already existing routine. So my morning routine is very set, steady. I've got that down. So a lot of the time, if it's a healthy habit I want to add, I add it to that routine because it just makes it so much easier. I don't know why. I can't explain it. That's how it is, okay? Alrighty, I'm gonna have my chia pudding, edit, and then we'll reconvene. Alrighty guys, I am working with 5% energy right now. It is 9. I've been working and now it's time for my evening routine and later the second part of the hour of power. I've honestly never had like a solid evening routine. I've always either like read or binged a show, TikTok, Reels, YouTube, whatever. It's never been like honestly great, but we're changing it. So I've got my tea and I'm about to read a book, and I think that's going to be my evening. The way I am approaching building this routine is like just writing down the things that I think I would enjoy doing that are also good for me and make me feel present and calm. So far, I've literally just got 2 options, either reading or I like to do like guided visualizations. My favorite are Inner Child, but there's a lot of good ones on YouTube. So I usually just listen to that, and it's very, very relaxing. And I usually sleep really, really well if I do that. I just want to have a few more options. So I'm going to write down some ideas of like things I think I would enjoy, and then we'll just try them out, see what works. This is like a time for me to do whatever I want that is good for me, and replace some of like the bad habits I have of like social media, binge watching, etc. Obviously everything in moderation, but I really do not want to be doing this kind of stuff, especially like 30 minutes before I go to sleep. So what I will be reading is funny, kind of. I got sucked into near-death experiences stories. It like appeared in my recommended, and ever since then I've watched countless. It's a new obsession of mine. I listened to one and the guy was really like well spoken and his story seemed amazing. And I saw he had a book, so I haven't started it yet. It's called The Light After Death, My Journey to Heaven and Back by Vincent Todd Tolman. I've never read anything like this, but I mean, I'm obsessed with these stories, so I'll probably enjoy it. I haven't checked any of the reviews or anything, so no idea if it's good or not, but I'm really excited to dive in and try it out. If you have any like book recommendations that are like this, let me know, or like any activities you'd like to do in the evening that are very relaxing, to give us some ideas, because I really struggle with like this part of my day is usually honestly a mess and I want to change it. So let us all know if you have any tips or any other like healthy lifestyle tips and tricks, habits, whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am ready to tap out and enjoy my night. So thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you very, very soon.